when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field.
49ers quarterback refusing to stand for the national anthems for 4 games.
Okay, I think we've passed kneeling.
I'll continue to sit. I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed.
If he's good enough, then sign him.
Colin had his chance to be here. We offered him a contract. He didn't take it.
So if he's good enough, I know these people. They would sign him in a heartbeat.
When there's significant change and I feel like that flag represents what it's supposed to represent, I'll stand.
Blackballing, a corrupt initiative by NFL ownership groups to keep a man that silently protested deep-rooted problems in America, like officers killing black people at a higher rate than any other race, out of their precious league. And now, the shield has struck again. You've likely never heard of this quarterback, except if you watch the AAF, which shut down in its first season, or Division II football at Texas A&M University Commerce. Luis Perez was signed by the Detroit Lions after an abysmal performance with the Birmingham Irons. 1,460 yards, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions thrown in 7 starts. His journey is full of fun facts, including only playing wideout in high school. And as CBS Sports notes, Perez learned how to become a quarterback by watching instructional videos on YouTube. That's right, disregard Colin Kaepernick's ability to throw the football downfield, his 3-sport athlete background, a draftee of the Chicago Cubs for his 92-plus mile-per-hour fastball, a fantastic basketball player, at one point playing with a 102-degree fever, and as assistant Barry Sachs reflects, this guy tore up one of the top-ranked basketball teams. It's one of the tools you can use to evaluate an athlete. You can see not only his athleticism, but his competitiveness and his toughness. Push aside his collegiate accolades, the first ever quarterback to pass for more than 10,000 yards and rush for more than 4,000. Another questionable roster spot, Josh Johnson. You might recall the puny-minded Dan Snyder employing Johnson and Mark bleeping Sanchez, aka Butt Fumble, over Colin Kaepernick last year. Johnson, currently with the Lions, prior to his signing with Washington last season, hadn't thrown an NFL pass since 2011. Pat Caputo is a writer for the News-Herald. Count him in the naysayers category. Kaepernick was brilliant while leading Jim Harbaugh's 49ers to the Super Bowl, but his career nosedived afterward. He was 3-16 his last 2 seasons, completing less than 60% of his passes. Kaepernick's touchdown pass interception ratio was good, but misleading because he tended to rack up stats after games were essentially decided. Pat fails to mention Colin Kaepernick had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. In one half, he was sacked 6 times. The Rams that year had 6 sacks in their first 7 games combined. In 2014, Kaepernick was sacked 52 times. This is either intentionally misinformative or lack of depth. 3-time Super Bowl winning offensive lineman Mark Schlereth said, "It's endemic. To play great offense, you got to actually block people. You've got to actually control the line of scrimmage." In 12 years of playing and 15 years of broadcasting, it's the worst I have ever seen an offensive line play consistently across the league. It's pathetic. Furthermore, Pat fails to mention 2 head coaches that lasted 1 year apiece. Jim Tomsula and Chip Kelly. Come on, Pat. But here's the best part. It would be a major distraction for an organization that has spent more than 6 decades trying to get focus. How's that work, Pat? Let's check. The Lions can only be equated to results, right? Since 2000, how many times do you think they've made the playoffs? 3. Since 2000, how many winning seasons do you think the Lions have had? 5. Shove it. One more lovely anecdote. What is the balance presented by all those issues in comparison to the possibility Kaepernick would even see the field, let alone lead the Lions to greatness, should Stafford go down to injury? The answer is, based on simple track record, like the Lions' failures, is a Super Bowl, which Kaepernick has led his team to, and was one pass interference call away from winning. With Detroit, Perez has never taken an NFL snap. The most action he's seen was on the Rams' practice squad for part of last season as a UDA and with the Eagles during the offseason. The Lions cut backup David Fales to make room for a quarterback of lesser talent and prestige in the league, results-wise, than Colin Kaepernick.